Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. Going to talk about 2018's Terrified. Not to be confused with Terrifier, the clown movies that they've made three of, and a fourth one's on the way. This is Terrified, a 2018 Argentinian horror movie from director, writer, and who also did the music, Demian Rugna. Now, I just watched his second movie, When Evil Lurks. That is one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. Not just one of the best horror movies of the year, not of the decade, not of the 21st century. One of the best horror movies I have ever seen. No hyperbole. It was really that good. So I was very much looking forward to Terrified. The only thing I had to say about it is I wish I had watched it first, because it is another one that is one of the best horror movies I have ever seen. But the progression of him going from this one to the next one is there. It's all palpable. It's all in his writing, in his directing. What he achieves in Terrified, he builds on and does better in When Evil Lurks. But they're both classics. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what language they are, how much money they spent on them. They're as good as any horror movies ever made. The first movie is described as a hyperlink horror movie. That's a phrase I've not really heard. Hyperlink cinema is a style of filmmaking characterized by complex or multilinear narrative structures with multiple characters under one unifying theme. Okay, I guess it's that. He wrote and directed this thing. It was his directorial debut. It was fairly low budget, but Shudder got involved. They've been involved with both of his movies. It's actually the Spanish word for Terrified is the name of the movie, but you can find it on Blu-ray. I found it for under $12 on Amazon and bought a copy of it, loved it. My buddy's looking for it on streaming and he hasn't found it yet. It has a lot of the same characteristics as When Evil Lurks, as far as you're dropped into a story. You don't know all the rules or the details. You kind of have to pick it up. It is different. I don't think these two things are in the same universe, because it is a different thing. Where When Evil Lurks was more kind of a demonic possession, evil traveling kind of thing. This is more of a supernatural creatures, ghosts kind of thing. But similarly done. Like, there are characters that seem to know more than we know, and they seem to have some mechanical apparatus where they can test things, and that is very similar to When Evil Lurks. We don't get the full picture. I think he did a better job with Evil Lurks of slowly letting you in and not telling you everything, because When Evil Lurks tells you even less than this movie does. You've got a cast of characters in a town where some supernatural things are happening. Some people come into town to investigate it, and things get worse, more supernatural. And by the end, it is another classic from Demian Rugna. I will watch any movie this guy makes. After this, they said he was working on a sequel to this. After When Evil Lurks, they said he was working on a sequel to that. I don't know what his next movie is, but I am in line right now. I will buy a ticket for it. I will buy it on Blu-ray and 4K when they put it up. Both of these movies, I'd stop listening to reviews and go watch Terrified, then go watch When Evil Lurks. They are dark. They are strange. There's even some shocking moments, but that is not what sticks with me. What sticks with me is how good they are. Terrified. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get into spoilers, but needless to say, there's multiple people in a neighborhood that are dealing with multiple things. These three people come in and kind of spread out in the neighborhood, and they're all trying to get the gist of what's really going on. And as they investigate it more, and you find out that things may really actually be supernatural, and people die and things like that, well, it is a horror movie. Both of the movies, like I said, have some shocking moments in it, but that's not what you're going to remember later. It's what they use in the ad campaigns, because obviously it kind of sticks in your head, especially the little girl and the dog from When Evil Lurks. But this movie, again, it's not the shocking horror or the shocking gore that you're going to remember. It's the whole experience. When it's over, it's like, wow. I want my buddy to see this one so we can have long, deep discussions about this too. Both are those kind of movies that when it's over, you still got a lot to think about, a lot to work out, a lot to wow. And the more you think about it, the more you're invested in knowing more. Like, I'm already ready to rewatch When Evil Lurks, and I just watched it like a week ago. I want to see it again from the perspective of knowing what's going on and see what else I can get out of it. And like I said, there's some famous people who do commentaries on it. I want to know what they say as well. Same thing with this movie. I'm already ready to watch it again, and I just watched it 2 nights ago. Terrified, really good. When Evil Lurks, even better. I would give Terrified maybe a 4.5 out of 5. I'd give When Evil Lurks a full 5. These are two of the best horror movies I've ever seen, two of the best horror movies I've seen this year, this decade, this millennium. Go see these movies if you like horror movies. Terrified, When Evil Lurks, highest recommendation. Watch them now. Not going to get into spoilers. We'll do another spoiler thing down the road, but get this movie if you can, and if you are a movie collector, go ahead and buy the Blu-ray. It's worth it. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Have a spectacular Labor Day weekend, and thanks for listening.